Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs is a problem, and it needs to be fixed. I'm talking about the secret storyline that's hidden so well it makes the Illuminati look like amateurs. You want to know the truth? Then grab your notebooks, because we're about to go on a wild ride, or at least get very confused together. Let's get one thing straight, alright? Call of Duty Zombies has a story. I know, shocking, right? But here's the thing, the story isn't just handed to you on a silver platter, like in your standard campaign. Oh no. Hey, let's make this story so secret that not even Sherlock Holmes would need a guide. You want to know what's going on with Richtofen, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takio? Well, good luck, you're gonna need to solve a puzzle that makes Rubik's Cubes look like a child's play, decipher codes in a language that probably doesn't exist, and shoot objects that are hidden so well they might as well be in another dimension. Let's talk about the Easter egg steps, shall we? Let's just talk about that, okay? We got everything from shooting hidden buttons on the moon to make some poor sap take a leak on a specific rock, to throwing grenades at clocks that only tick at 3:17 a.m. on a full moon. Like, what are we doing here? We're summoning Cthulhu? Oh yeah, I forgot this map exists. Seriously, who comes up with this stuff? Did Treyarch just gather a bunch of mad scientists in a room and said, alright, how can we make only 0.0001% of players even finish this? Meanwhile, the rest of us are just trying to figure out how to turn the damn power on without consulting an ancient scroll. And then there's the story itself. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack that's inside another haystack, but that's also on fire. You got these epic cutscenes that drop after you complete the Easter egg, revealing key plot points that make everything suddenly make sense. But here's the catch. Most people will never see those. It's like Treyarch decided to hide the best part of the game behind a wall of impossible tasks just to mess with us. And the real kicker is, if you're even slightly off, just slightly off, you missed the whole thing. Want to know why Richtofen is obsessed with the multiverse, or why there's a talking monkey? Too bad you didn't shoot the right tombstone with a pack-a-punch ray gun while riding zipline upside down. Better luck next time. The real question is, why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Why do we subject ourselves to this insanity? I'll tell you why. Because when you finally complete an Easter egg after days, weeks, or even months of trial and error, it's like finding out Santa's real. It's that sweet satisfaction of knowing you unlocked a piece of the puzzle that no one else has. But here's the thing, when you break it down, the story isn't that complicated. I mean, it kind of is a little bit, but it's just basically the world's largest soap opera with time travel, alternate realities, and a lot of things actually. But that's the thing, right? And that's the reason why I'm making this video, right? It's like Treyarch wanted to tell an amazing story, but they were like, let's make it so convoluted that only the most dedicated players will ever know it exists. That's just one way to build a cult following, I guess. My Jesus Lord, I guess that's just, man, I'm doing something wrong here. So what's the solution to all this madness? Honestly, I think we should just all stop pretending we're Indiana Jones, right? I truly believe this. I always keep mentioning it. I think Call of Duty World War II was doing the right things with the Easter eggs. Even though I know Call of Duty World War II got a lot of hate for it, I think it was actually great. I really do. And I think Skill Ritual, I know I keep mentioning that all the time, but it's a simple fact of it is this, right? I like when the game tells me what to do, how to complete it, right? You know, if you give me a puzzle, but at least I know I'm on the right path, it's much better than going around the whole map, clicking, freaking X or clicking whatever, thing you're playing it on everywhere to find the mysterious rock. I truly believe that it's anything that gets you out of the Call of Duty Zombies experience, get out of it, and makes you get on your phone to watch a YouTuber explain to you the guide, and the guide is usually 30 to sometimes 40 minutes long, I think you messed up in your game. Alright? If I am spending hours trying to decipher Morse code hidden in a zombie's moans, then you're doing too much here, man. You're doing too much. If Treyarch wanted us to know the story, they'll just put it in the game, right? Oh wait, they did, but only if you're willing to go through the torture of completing the Easter eggs. That's the main reason why I'm making this video, is because I really enjoy when the game tells me where to go. Call of Duty Zombies isn't Easter egg really anymore. I just think now it's the storyline, and I would like to know what the storyline is. In Cold War, the Easter egg was a little bit more simplified, and I know that even in Black Ops 6, a much more different route on doing the Easter eggs. And to be honest, me personally, I enjoyed that. And when I see people that are angry about that or frustrated on it, I feel like they're not really thinking about the larger community here. And even when people actually are like finding issues with it, look, if you have fun trying to be like Sherlock Holmes and try to look around the map, okay, good for you. Honestly, just good for you, buddy. But most of us have school. Most of us have work. I do not want to go home and try to find a freaking puzzle piece of some kind and then try to find out where that goes. I do not enjoy that. So I actually really am actually very thinking a lot to Treyarch, because of the simple fact they're helping you out now and they're actually telling you where to go, and I enjoyed that. But you know what? The next time you're lost in the chaos of an Easter egg, just remember, you're not alone. We're all out here trying to figure out why we're throwing grenades at a random clock in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. And who knows, maybe one day we'll finally understand the whole story. But as you guys may know, that's not the only issue I want to discuss. It's time to move on to the elemental staffs.
I'm almost out! Who's been hoarding all the ammo?
A game mode that started as an experiment in Call of Duty World at War has turned into a gaming phenomenon, becoming a beloved part of the franchise. With each new release, the stakes got higher, the maps bigger, and the wonder weapons more insane. But today, we're diving deep into one of the most game-changing additions to Call of Duty Zombies, the elemental staffs. These powerful weapons not only changed how we played the game, but they changed the lore and the community forever. They represent a turning point, a shift that led to what some call the easy mode era of zombies. Others, though, see it as a brilliant evolution where everyone can feel powerful and contribute to their team. The real question is, did the staffs make zombies better or worse? Did they rob the game of its chaotic nature, or did they evaluate into new heights? Let's find out. Buckle in, because this is going to be a long, intense ride through zombies history. Let's take a step back, all the way to World at War, the birthplace of Call of Duty Zombies. Back then, it was against the undead, no gimmicks, just you, your basic weapon, and the terrifying knowledge that just two hits, will be enough to send you to the ground. Zombies felt dangerous, relentless, and unforgiving. This was a thrill to the randomness of the mystery box. Every time you spun it, you were rolling the dice. You can get a weapon like the ray gun or the powerful Wonder Waffle, or you can end up with a sniper rifle, aka death in close quarters. The excitement, the tension, it all came from not knowing what you were going to get, and you had to make do with what the game gave you, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Their mystery box wasn't just an in-game mechanic, it was a symbol of zombies. Every round, every time you had enough points, you ran over, spin it, and hope for that golden flash of light to signal a wonder weapon. That gamble, that was pure adrenaline. The box was a cornerstone of the zombies experience, representing the unpredictable, high-risk, high-reward nature of the game. It was a simple mechanic, but it defined the zombies experience. But as we all know, things change. Then came Black Ops 2, with the map Origins, a map that would go down in history as one of the most beloved in zombies. And what was one of the most exciting things about it? The introduction of the 4 elemental staffs. Now, for the first time, we had wonder weapons that didn't require spinning the box. You didn't even have to rely on random chance. You could work as a team to build these incredible weapons that gave each player a taste of ultimate power. But this change wasn't just mechanical, it was also steeped in lore. The staffs were shrouded in mystery, linked to ancient forces and hidden secrets that tied into the zombie storyline in a big way. Who made these weapons? How were they connected to Samantha and the war between Richtofen and Maxis? The theories exploded.
See a Nikolai for the first time in a Group 935 excavation site in northern France. This newly formed Origins crew assist a young girl whose voice they can mysteriously hear in their heads. Once their work there is done, the Origins crew teleport away, and we're given our first look at a mysterious house containing a different Samantha, a different Maxis, and a different Eddie to those we knew in World at War.
The Origins map ignited a frenzy of speculation in the community. People were connecting dots, diving deep into the mythology, and trying to piece together how these staffs fit into the larger story of zombies. Were the staffs linked to ancient gods? Were they connected to the Keepers and the Aether? Players scoured every corner of the map, looking for clues, solving puzzles, and sharing their wildest ideas online. It was a golden age for zombies lore enthusiasts. Suddenly, the game wasn't just about survival anymore, it was about discovery. The staffs represented more than just weapons. They were symbols of the hidden depths of the zombie story. Origins was packed with mysteries, from the meaning of the elemental symbols to the implications of Samantha's omnipresence. Each staff held its own unique power and significance, and the idea that players could become masters of the elements pushed the narrative forward in a way no one had expected. But while many celebrated this lore explosion, others weren't as enthusiastic about how the staffs impacted the actual gameplay. With great power comes great ease? See, the thing about the staffs is that once they were built, each player essentially had their own wonder weapon. You weren't waiting your turn to spin the box anymore. Everyone was armed to the teeth, capable of unleashing massive damage. The fire staff could rain meteors of destruction. The ice staff froze hordes in their tracks. The wind staff blew zombies away like leaves. The lightning staff electrocuted anything that moved. But here's the kicker. While these weapons were undeniably fun to use, they fundamentally changed the way zombies was played. Where was the tension? The chaos? Sure, the Panzer was still a threat, but with a group of 4 players armed with elemental staffs, he didn't stand a chance. Some players loved the new dynamic. Everyone could contribute to the team rather than one lucky player hogging the ray gun. But others felt like something important was being lost. Was the game becoming too easy? Was the sense of danger fading with every elemental attack? And it didn't stop there. In Black Ops 3, we got Dreisendrach, a map that introduced elemental bows, the fire, lightning, wolf, and void bows. These work similarly to the staffs and Origins, but with an added level of challenge. Each player had to complete a series of steps and puzzles to unlock their bow. It was a rewarding experience for sure, and the bows themselves were even flashier than the staffs. But a problem arrived. The mystery box became a bit obsolete. It was more about getting the bows done as quickly as possible. You can get your bows done at round 9, maybe a bit sooner, then go to the jump pad and camp all the way to round 50. But was this fun? Is this when Treyarch started to make zombies too easy? The introduction to Gobblegums didn't help this case either, which can be in its own video of itself. But once again, this brought up the same question. Wasn't the whole point of zombies is to struggle together as a team? When everyone has a wonder weapon, what's left of the tension that used to define the game? The elemental bows allowed each player to feel like a powerhouse, but they also erased that feeling of being on the edge, barely surviving with limited ammo and a weak weapon. Then, in Black Ops 4, we got another twist with Alpha Omega. 4 new wonder weapons, based on the ray gun Mark II. You had the blue, yellow, purple, and orange variants, each one with its own special abilities. Once again, every player could have their own customized wonder weapon. And let's be real, they were cool. But this formula, the 4 wonder weapon route, was now becoming a staple. It was clear that Treyarch was making sure everyone had a path to godlike power. But with great power comes great predictability. No more panic in the late rounds when you only have a weak SMG. No more spinning the mystery box in desperation, hoping for that one miracle drop. The staffs, bows, and ray gun variants were great for making the game more accessible, but they also removed that unpredictable element that made zombies so intense in the first place. Black Ops 4 also added elixirs. Like I said, the Gobblegums situation also made Black Ops easy as well. And Black Ops 4, the elixirs, one can argue that they actually weren't too bad, but they were enough to make it even easier. And not only that, you also spawned in at Black Ops 4 with a special ability, and you also already had a lot of hits with you. And not only that, you can spawn in with any type of weapon you want. Well, almost any type of weapon, I should say. You can spawn in with a strife, with a knife, and start stabbing zombies all the way up to round 7. Hell, you can start with the MOG 12 shotgun. It felt like things were starting to get different in Call of Duty Zombies. But maybe, just maybe, we need to go back in time. Let's not forget how the basic mechanics of zombies have shifted. Back in World at War, you got down in 2 hits, just 2. It was brutal. If you weren't constantly moving and watching your back, you were toast. Fast forward to today, we can take 4 or 5 hits before we even need to worry about going down. And that's without perks. Combine that with guaranteed wonder weapons, and it's hard to deny that the game has become, well, safer, more forgiving, more about spectacle, and less about survival. So what's the verdict? Has zombies become too easy? Have we traded the intense, heart-pounding survival horror for a more streamlined, accessible experience? Sure, it's fun to wield godlike powers with the staffs, bows, or ray guns, but has that come at the cost of the chaos and unpredictability that made zombies so thrilling to begin with? The mystery box was once the heart of zombies. You save up your points, make your way to the box, and roll the dice. It was a moment of pure excitement and fear. What would you get? But now with guaranteed elemental weapons, the box just feels like an afterthought. Something to pass the time while you work towards your real weapon. Have you lost something crucial in this transition? And mentioning Call of Duty Cold War, which is something I haven't even mentioned. Now I understand, before I continue going forward, not every map had the 4 wonder weapon route. In the end, the introduction of the staffs, and later the bows and ray guns, forever changed the DNA of zombies. Some say for the better, arguing that it created more opportunities for team play, deeper lore, and more player agency. Others say that it diluted what made zombies great in the first place. The constant danger, the fear of the unknown, and the thrill of surviving against all odds. Love them or hate them, the staffs did change zombies forever. And as the game continues to evolve, we have to wonder, what's next? Will zombies return to its brutal roots? Or are we forever in the era of easy mode wonder weapons? I know there's some maps that don't follow the 4 wonder weapon route, but was this the start of things going easy? Was this the first sight that Call of Duty Zombies was going to change into a more easier route? Well, anyways, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are the staffs a brilliant addition, or did they ruin zombies as we know it? Now it's time, folks, to move on to the final thing to talk about, Gobblegums. So sit back, relax, and listen.
was a big experiment. It was a big bet. The ones where I never want to put a half implemented thing in.
Gobblegums, the ultimate power-up machine. Love 'em or hate 'em, they changed Call of Duty Zombies forever. But was this change for the better? Or did they break the game? Let's dive deep into the Gobblegum chaos in Black Ops 3, their return as elixirs in Black Ops 4, and how they've evolved or devolved in Black Ops 6. First up, we gotta talk about Gobblegums in Black Ops 3. When these colorful little Gobblegums were introduced, they turned zombies into an entirely different experience. Suddenly you can pull off ridiculous feats that would have been impossible in older zombie maps. Perkaholic? Boom! You get all your perks without lifting a finger. Shopping free. Why spend points when you can open up the whole map in one go? And let's not forget the classic round robin, where you skip an entire round just by chewing on a gum. Sounds overpowered. Well, it is. Yeah, Gobblegums made the game way too easy. It turned what was supposed to be a survival horror experience into a press X to win kind of situation. Sure, if you were lucky enough to have the right Gobblegum, you can practically guarantee success. Just a few bullets left, and one perk was gone, replaced by the Gobblegum machine giving you everything you could ever need. Some players loved it. Who wouldn't enjoy being overpowered? But it's hard to deny that it took the challenge out of zombies. The grind, the strategy, the careful planning, all thrown out the window with one spin of the Gobblegum machine. Black Ops 3 went from survive at all costs to how broken can I make this game? But then came Black Ops 4, and with it, elixirs. At first glance, they seem like the same thing as Gobblegums, a consumable ability that gives you an advantage, but oh boy, were they more, let's just say, tame. Elixirs felt like the watered down off-brand version of Gobblegums. Sure, they had their moments, but in most cases, pretty underwhelming. The Perkaholic was in it, but really not that great since the perks in BO4 was okay. Instead, you got abilities like Now You See Me, which just made you grab zombies' attention, or Free Fire, which gives you unlimited ammo for like, what, 30 seconds. Compared to Black Ops 3, it felt like going from driving a sports car to pushing a shopping cart. They were more balanced for sure, but sometimes too balanced, to the point where they felt kinda useless. A lot of the excitement of grabbing a Gobblegum was just gone. Instead of a game-changing perk that could shift the tides of battle, you got a brief advantage that often left you wondering, was this even worth it? Like, it made you wonder what was the point of you using ones that you earn when the classic ones are just as good. Anywhere but there, which allowed you to TP to the down person. BO4 was really an easy game, but we wonder, are they going to be bringing it back in a future COD? Will they? But it's not all doom and gloom for Gobblegums and elixirs. Despite their game-breaking or underwhelming effects, they did give us something really important. Something to grind for. That feeling of spinning the machine, hoping for a Perkaholic or something rare. Addictive. And then the liquid divinium system in BO3 and the elixir vial system in BO4, they gave you a reason to keep playing. Every game, every round, every match, you had a reason to push forward to earn those drops, to get your hands on the next rare Gobblegum. And sure, maybe it made the game easier, but it also kept people coming back. It was like a slot machine mechanic. You never knew what you were going to get, and that anticipation was enough to keep you grinding. It was like playing an RPG, and you can come back into the game with more skills, more powers than last time. It created that addiction that you wanted all the Gobblegums, you wanted all the elixirs just to feel powerful. But how is Black Ops 6 going to tackle this? Are they going to go the elixir route and make them more tame? Or BO3's route and make them more extreme? What was it going to be?
has almost sort of joked about for so long. Like, yeah, Gobblegums should come back. Woo, that would be amazing. We'd love there to be Gobblegums. It's in the game. It's in the game.
Gobblegums were coming back, and there was a lot of controversy about it. There was actually some people really hating it, and there was other people that really are excited for it coming back. On that Reddit post that I was showing you guys, there was a comment that said that the reason why they didn't like Gobblegums is because every time they started the match, they went to go try to spin the Gobblegum machine, but the simple fact of it is that if they didn't get a perkaholic, or if their friends didn't get a perkaholic, then they had to leave the game and restart it. There was also situations where players end up actually leaving or glitching out the game so they can keep their Gobblegums. I would say that in those type of situations, those are not really the Gobblegums' fault, but mostly us, the players, actually trying to break the game. Now, Gobblegums does indeed have some crazy gums. There is no denying that. But how did Black Ops 6 handle it? Well, Black Ops 6 handled it where every Gobblegum is a consumable, and there is no classics. There is no like keep on using the same gum over and over again. For you to actually currently get Gobblegums, you actually have to play the game, or you're gonna have to buy them. As of right now, it's the same thing as Black Ops 3. Overpowered, and along with that, you also have score streaks, keeping you alive. Then you have the armor system, keeping you alive. You have a lot of things to help you, the casual player, to have a great time. Some people love the Gobblegums because of how crazy and hectic and so many things that you can do with it. Other players are saying that it's too easy. It's making the game too easy. But what do you decide? What do you think?